The highest, after all, is not to comprehend the highest, but to do it. What distinguishes all love from lust is the fact that it bears an impression of eternity. Faith begins precisely where thinking leaves off. You become what you understand. People settle for a level of despair they can tolerate and call it happiness. Far from idleness being the root of all evil, it is rather the only true good. Whoever has learned to be anxious in the right way has learned the ultimate. What is youth? A dream. What is love? The dream's content. Don't be lost in spiritlessness is the most terrible thing of all. If you want to be loathsome to God, just run with the herd. Once you are born in this world, you're old enough to die. Cultivate the will. This is the armor that preserves the mind. Therefore, do not deceive yourself. Of all deceivers, fear most yourself. If life has become a bitter drink to me, and yet it must be taken in drops, counted one by one. The best response to criticism is to smile and forget. A no does not hide anything, but a yes very easily becomes a deception. My sorrow is my castle. Life has its own hidden forces, which you can only discover by living. Faith is the highest passion in a man. It is very important in life to know when your cue comes. Why bother remembering a past that cannot be made into a present? Leap of faith, yes, but only after reflection. Many of us pursue pleasure with such breathless haste that we hurry past it. It is impossible to exist without passion. The tyrant dies and his rule is over. The martyr dies and his rule begins. Dare to lose one's footing momentarily. Not to dare is to lose oneself. My standpoint is armed neutrality. To be human is not a fact, but a task. Knowledge is a wealth that cannot be stolen. I opened my eyes and saw the real world, and I began to laugh, and I haven't stopped since. Once you labeled me, you negate me. If everything in the world were a misunderstanding, what if laughter were really tears? Nothing ventured, nothing gained. Take away the paradox from the thinker, and you have a professor. Boredom is the root of all evil. the despairing refusal to be oneself. Life is not a problem to be solved, but a reality to be experienced. The most common form of despair is not being who you are. Happiness is the greatest hiding place for despair. People understand me so poorly that they don't even understand my complaint about them not understanding me. Face the facts of being what you are, for that is what changes what you are. Anxiety is the dizziness of freedom. Hope is a passion for the possible. People demand freedom of speech as a compensation for the freedom of thought, which they seldom use. For it is not what happens to me that makes me great, but it is what I do. It is better to get lost in the passion than to lose the passion. If you don't have many friends, that means you have a lot of life experience. Now, life can only be understood backwards, but it must be lived forwards. It is so hard to believe because it is so hard to obey. I would rather be a swineherd, understood by the swine, than a poet misunderstood by men. Be that self that one is. The self-assured believer is a greater sinner in the eyes of God than the troubled disbeliever. On the secretly blushing cheek is reflected the glow of the heart. Happy, the most painful state of being is remembering the future, particularly the one you'll never have. What if forget to love yourself? The only intelligent tactical response to life's horror is to laugh defiantly at it. To be sleeping is the height of genius.